What's up, YouTube garden fiends? In this video I'm going to show you how I compost in my chicken coop. I have two compost systems, one inside the chicken coop and one outside the chicken coop. The one inside the chicken coop is the one that creates the bulk material, so I can give them all the food scraps, all the trimmings from the yard, all the waste coming out of the gardens, and they're going to turn that into manure in a matter of days. So it's really about keeping on top of adding carbon to balance out the nitrogen that the chickens are creating. Once the compost is done, I take it out of the chicken coop and compost it again, just to make sure I'm not adding any fresh manure to my garden beds. And that way, if I make a compost extract, I'm not making an extract that has fresh chicken manure in it, which could spread salmonella or be way too hot. So that's how I do it. I have one system outside of the chicken coop that's a 3-bin system, and I have a compost system inside the chicken coop that's a 2-bin system. These are 14-inch zip ties, and they work really good for holding these pallets together. There's no point in screwing them in because they're going to break down over time, so this way you can just swap them out if you need to. I have an 8x8 chicken coop. Half of it is the compost bins and the second half of the chicken coop in the back. The front half is pretty much 4x8. That is the only part I actually clean. So what you're seeing me do right now is scoop up all the compost that the chickens have kicked out of the compost bins onto the floor. So I do this every month. I clean up the floor. I add mulch to the floor. And that is kind of the maintenance that is required if you're gonna have this kind of system. If you want to cut down on this part of it, I would add chicken wire to the front of the pallets, because the holes on the pallets or the slits on the pallets are pretty big. So they're gonna kick all of the material out as they rummage through it looking for bugs and food. So if you wanna make this part easier on yourself, I would put chicken wire on the front. I'm okay with them kicking all the material out, because it just kind of ensures that it's getting turned every month. So when I add food to the compost bins, I pick a side. I work on one side where I'm actively adding fresh food scraps or garden overflow. Like if we're done with the season and I'm taking all of the plants out of a garden to get ready for planting, all of that is going to go into one side, and the other side is kind of the side with the compost that I'm going to take out and put into our finishing bin. So remember, we have a completely separate compost system that we do a final run in, so that it's no fresh manure. So the general overview is, one bin is for active composting of food scraps. The other bin is where I put the material that I'm picking up off of the floor every month, and that's going to alternate from the left to the right. It's you're going to see me doing it in both, because this is footage that took over the course of several months. So don't let that confuse you, because you're going to see me adding it to the right. You're going to see me adding it to the left. But just remember that you have to pick a side for active composting and a side for where you're going to put the material that the chickens are kicking out of the compost pile and onto the floor that doesn't have the compost pile. So you got to pick a side to add the chicken bedding. That's what I call it. Chicken bedding is the stuff that's on the floor. And then a side where you're going to add the food scraps from your kitchen or from the garden. This is my active compost pile. The only stuff I do not put into this compost pile are things that are rotting, or things that I don't want to get the chicken sick with, right? So I'm mainly adding food that is good. I don't want to get my chicken sick, or like I'm not gonna feed them like rotting beans or anything like that. So this is pretty much edible food. Um, it's bits and pieces that were, like the onion ends and pepper tops, things like that, from cooking. And then food scraps, like food that is in our fridge that we're not gonna get to. I clean the fridge every week. I don't let food get super nasty in the fridge, and that way the chickens can enjoy like fresh food. If I do have stuff that is nasty and gross, I'm gonna add that to the compost system that's outside of the chicken coop. So that's kind of how I conceptualize it, and that's how I kind of run my compost systems. Oh, are you pecking? So I'm gonna clean up the floor right here and put some of this pine mulch down. It's starting to stink a little bit in here. This is maybe 4 to 6 weeks after I did it last. And this is already compost right here. sorry, but you're kind of in the way, little ones. What's up, Emma? What's up, Emma?
Oi. Oi.
They're going crazy. Oh, whoa. Whoa, whoa. So I spread the mulch. I spread the mulch in here and they're super happy. They're gonna spread it out and scratch it. You just kind of have to put it in piles in one direction and they'll scratch it in the other direction. So I kind of piled it up over here. I put some in the compost. They're gonna scratch that. So they're gonna be really busy today, scratching this stuff, trying to see if they can find bugs. Look at how excited they are. Oh. Oh yeah. Hey, how about we calm down? How about we calm down over here? How about we calm down? How about we calm down? How about we calm down? Why are you pecking everybody? Why are you pecking everybody? Why are you pecking everybody? She doesn't like being touched. There we go. Let's calm you down. Let's calm you down so you're nice. I'm gonna have to eat you. Do you want me to eat you? I need to be nice. I need to be nice. Stop pecking people. Oh, you don't like to be dominated. You don't like to be dominated. You don't like to be dominated. Well. I know, Mama. I know, Mama. Okay. Whee! Compost time. So these are eggs that went bad. I'll have to make a video to show you guys how to check to see if your eggs are bad. Some of them were obvious. These ones we put in water and they floated. So we're gonna compost these eggs. We're gonna compost all these food scraps. So I'm building this side. You can tell because it's all scratched and it's starting to build up some biomass. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to my Patreon at www.patreon.com/thesonoran-desert-grower. The $2 members get my dryland permaculture growing guide. It's a 99-page PDF that walks you through many aspects of dryland farming. My $5 members get the dryland permaculture growing guide and a seed care package. My $10 members get the dryland permaculture growing guide, the seed care package, and my personal mineral amendment mix. So you can make your own potting soil and you can amend for leafy greens and vegetables in your in-ground gardens or your container gardens.